Continuing our discussion about the revelation in the days of Mashiach, we're learning that we actually already had a taste of this, which is our experience of Har Sinai, of the giving of the Torah. And about that it says, "You've been shown to know that God is the Lord, and there's nothing else besides him." We had this undeniable godly experience where it's really impressed into our being that we exist within God, that the context in which we exist is God, that Havaya is Elohim. The God who's beyond everything and transcendent is the same God who's, creating every single molecule, every single second. There's nothing beside him. So we've already have that ingrained into our system. And so this revelation, because it says you revealed yourself, literally you've made yourself seen, meaning this was something that was a tangible experience. And this is why it's written, and all the people saw the thunder. So usually you don't see thunder, right? Like the graphic artist here, she wanted to put a picture of thunder, but there's nothing to put, so she put lightning, right? Because what are you going to put for the image of seeing thunder? Some thunder isn't something you see. So therefore, something that was normally heard was seen. Right? This was the experience of Havaya's Elohim, the God who's beyond the world. Now being, present within the world is that the laws of nature, right? God who creates the laws of nature every single moment is beyond the laws of nature, and therefore we're having a supernatural experience. Our rabbis explain like this. They looked eastward and heard the divine speech issuing forth, saying, "I am God, your Lord," right? The first of the 10 Commandments. And so to turn toward the 4 points of the compass, and above and below, they heard the words coming from every direction. And explained also in Tikkun Zohar, there was no place for which he did not speak to them. So usually you hear a voice coming from a certain direction, but right, God is beyond space, and therefore the voice was coming from every single direction, from above, from below, from every point of the compass. You're hearing the voice, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem, your God. And so really, the experience of hearing the 10 Commandments, it was a complete godly experience, a complete godly revelation in every way. It broke the bounds of nature. This was so because in the 10 Commandments, his blessed will was revealed, right? God's will, which has no tzimtzum, which has no hester panim, his undiluted will is revealed. Since they, the 10 Commandments, comprise the entire Torah, which represents the inner aspect of his will and wisdom. So within those 10 Commandments is the ideas, or the backbone of the rest of the entire Torah, which is, God's innermost will. God's being completely vulnerable with us and saying, hey, this is how you can have an intimate relationship with me. And so you can understand that having no concealment broke the concealment, right? We live in a world where there's so many layers of concealment, so we don't have a divine revelation every single moment. But if Hashem's coming through with his will, and his will, we are saying, has no concealment, no hester panim, so you take off the layers, and that's what you got. You could see thunder, and the voices, you could hear God speaking from every single direction. It took off those layers of concealment that we normally have, which we call the laws of nature. As we say in our prayers, "For in the light of your countenance, you gave us a Torah of life." The Torah thus represents the light of his countenance, i.e. the inner light of godliness. So usually we're dealing with chotzonis, we're dealing with layers, with concealment. This is the inner light of godliness. When his light was revealed through the utterings of the 10 Commandments, the entire world experienced a revelation of godliness, right? When Hashem showed us his inner dimension, his will, therefore all layers were taken off. We got the real deal. We got the inner aspect, the inner dimension of godliness. Therefore, the Jews who stood at Sinai were nullified out of existence, right? This was the trip of our life. At every divine utterance, their soul took flight from their body. The body could no longer contain the soul. The soul was experiencing such intense divine revelation that it couldn't stay in a body and continue having that intense of an experience. And then God restored them with the dew which he will revive us in times of Tias and Mason, right? So literally our souls came out of our bodies, and to revive us, to put our soul back into our body and revive the body, really just to revive the body, what God did is he took the towel, which is this special mystical dew, which is also going to be used in the times of the resurrection of the dead in the days of Mashiach, and use that to, put body and soul back together so we can continue on this mission. So this is a dew of Torah, right? What's this special dew? It's a dew of Torah, which is called might. The Torah provides a strength that enables us to receive divine revelation without dissolving out of existence. As explained above in reference to the reward of the tzaddikim in the world to come. So we said that tzaddikim, tzaddikim, or all tzaddikim, so the Jewish people, in order to receive their reward in the days of Mashiach, we need help, right? We need assistance. We need a certain shield. And what is that shield? It's the shield of Torah. So how do I know when Mashiach comes, I'm not going to have the same experience, that my soul keeps on flying out of my body, right? How are we going to be able to stay here? Because the dew that enabled us to really keep our souls in our body during that experience, that's the dew of Torah. Torah is the might. It's something that allows us to be able to withstand such an intense inner dimension of godliness as God's will, and yet stay within a body, because that's what Torah is. Torah allows us every single day to interact with God's innermost will, and yet stay in a body and fulfill the mitzvahs in a physical world. So that's the perfect shield. Similarly, our sages remark, whoever engages in the study of the Torah, the dew of Torah will revive him, because he's already had that exposure. He's experienced in this. When we're learning Torah, we're experiencing God's innermost will. That doesn't mean our soul leaves our body every time. Why? Because it's within certain vessels, right? The Torah has a certain strength. They're able to learn God's undiluted will, and yet remain soul within body. And so therefore, in the days of Mashiach, to be able to withstand such an intense divine revelation, the dew of Torah is going to come to our assistance.